any hocus pocus. The Merit team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merit price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merit team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merit opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Gators' new commit for the class of 2025, local Riverside High, 4-star recruit tight end Tayshawn Gelsey, hauled in 48 passes for 859 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. Going into his last season this year, Gelsey shared on what he's looking to accomplish.
Build my team because we're a young team, so I know I got a lot of guys looking up to me, so just to show them the way, make sure they working, make sure they get to where I am right now, that's my goal for the year.
It's decision day for 247-pound linebacker Tavion Wallace. Wayne County, Georgia 4-star linebacker who's ranked as the nation's 36th overall player and number 3 linebacker has a big day today, verbally committing to one of the 4 schools: Florida State, Florida, Georgia, or Arkansas. It's 90 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
2 o'clock hour. How do champions begin their day? Huh? How do champions begin their day? I'll tell you how. They start at 2 in the afternoon.
Facts. Yes.
2 in the afternoon. The 1010XL cook-off for the 4th of July. I think it's appropriate to start off XL Primetime with a round of applause. Casey Dobson and for RJ Saunders, the studio audience. Yeah, they know what we're talking about. We're talking Hall of Fame ribs from one Rich Tilsky.
Was there ever any doubt?
No, there was not.
Especially when you brought the tray in there, the smell, the aroma, the taste. Come on now, Tilsky's the man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Bro,
so
that was high level.
Yeah,
it was.
Big and Rich, we appreciate it, Brody. There were definitely some good dishes. There's still a few desserts in the break room, which I still may attack. But we definitely got in the mood for the 4th of July and for what's coming up with the nation's birthday. So welcome in XL Primetime, a Beaver Chevy Beaver Toyota Tuesday. I'm guessing we will hear the results a little bit later on of all of them. But Doom brought it. I will tell you that. Duval Doom was out front with Kevin and a couple of other Jaguar fans, and including the next generation of Jaguar fans. And they came here to cook, and then the other ones had cooked and brought it in. But a shout out to them as well, because he had that. Is it called a Blackstone? Is that the flat top?
Yeah.
He had it working.
He brought it, man.
He had it working, and he had all the fixings that you would want for a July 4th burger. I don't think you can go wrong with any protein like we've talked about.
No. He had the cheese. He had everything.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a burger.
No. All right, so we're a couple days away from lighting some fireworks, so we figure we get a little fireworks going on the show today and talk a little bit about where this football team is, your Jacksonville Jaguars. I reminded everybody yesterday there's only 10 more Sundays before NFL football shows back up on your television, and that should fire everybody up. And then you'll be ready to rock and roll down at tailgaters or wherever you tailgate, getting all fired up for some football. But it's definitely on the brain, that's for sure. And then yesterday, when the SEC officially welcomed in the Oklahomas and the Texases of the world, the ACC, the Big Ten, they all did the same thing. So we kind of got the college football thought on our brain as well. But let's go back to last week, if you guys don't mind. And I thought we did a pretty good exercise on where Doug Peterson ranks in terms of the overall overall NFL head coaches. And we had a nice little debate about whether or not you get the love for winning hardware before or what what your record tells everybody that you've done lately. I don't even know that we know the answer to that just yet, do we? As far as how we rank them? Because Doug Peterson, even though he's got a Super Bowl trophy, he's still got to prove something.
Right. I feel like we glossed over that, too. So I think we should go like a little more of a deep dive into that.
Yeah.
Both in the NFL and college level.
Right. I don't mind taking a look at a top 10 in the college game and the NFL game. Some of these are obvious, but whatever.
Well, here's the thing. I have to detach myself emotionally from the Jaguars when I'm dealing with Doug Peterson, because he did start with the Eagles, and he does have a Super Bowl ring. Because I had him low. I have him like 16. I have him like in the middle of the pack right there. I'm just telling you, bro. I'm emotionally attached to the Jaguars. And I'm just saying, yes, last year affected me. That collapse last year affected me. That's like what did Shah Khan say? Organizational failure.
I don't disagree. I also think sometimes we're all guilty of this. We're too close to it.
Yeah.
And I think you got to step away a little bit and think, okay, there's no chance in hell that guy's 16.
That's the reason why we doing the exercise again.
That's why we're readjusting.
We're readjusting, all right? I'm readjusting my seatbelt, all right? That's the reason why we did the exercise again, because I have them a little bit higher now.
Because it is true that if you're too close to it, you can be too negative or too positive.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
You can cheerlead or you can pan.
Yeah.
And so both are possible, that's for sure. And so
there are definitely cheerleaders and panning on this show.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going to say who's doing the cheerleading, but
listen, we treat I treat the Jaguars like my child, all right? You can see them doing bad when you try to turn away, and you hope that they get better.
Yeah.
All right? When they're good, you overload them. So I don't call it cheerleading. I just call it parental guidance.
Yeah, it's funny. The father-in-law. Yeah, TLD has the father-in-law, Pop.
Mm-hmm.
She might be able to say something about him, but I dang sure ain't allowed to.
There you go.
Right. You know, that kind of deal.
That part.
Yeah, and so that's where it's at. All right, so you guys start thinking about that, and then we were going to go in from the NFL into the college football game as well and talk about both of them. So we'll have a little fun, and at the very least, just kind of get you going on which of the coaches are at the top. Can we agree? Right now, post Bill Belichick walking away from the National Football League, that Andy Reid's the best coach in America?
By far.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm going to say yes, but I think we should start at 10 instead of 1.
All right, I like that.
You want to start? Okay, you want to start at 10. I like that.
All right, I wanted to see whether or not we were going to go in. All right, so how about you do me a favor then? And you guys start thinking about your CFP top 10, your NFL top 10, and you guys can chop it up any way you want, accomplishments, however you want, and then bring it to the show. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. You, of course, can join in on YouTube. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search 1010XL. You can start streaming right now. You can come in the MyBookie Digital Studios and get on the chat and let us know where you're at with some of these coaches. All right, here's a crazy question. A year ago, given what Bill Belichick had gone through, and given the fact that Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes had just won a Super Bowl, would you have already had Andy Reid ahead of Belly? Because, again, this is resume versus recency. Think about this. Resume versus recency. And in this case, recency bias should actually count a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, that's hard. That's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. Prisoner of the moment says yes, absolutely. From what I've seen the last couple of years with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid winning those Super Bowls, and Belly's been to what? 9 Super Bowls?
He's been to 9.
He's been to 9.
Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay, was the 10th one for Brady.
Mm-hmm. And listen, we live in a what have you done for me lately league. So the last thing I've seen is Andy Reid hoisting the Lombardi. And it's been a long time since Belly's done it. So I will probably put Belly in the front chair. Not Belly, but Andy.
Prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andy's in the front chair.
Yeah, I think you can't avoid it. You have to assess these guys, both the NFL and college,
right?
From the angle of what you've done to what you've done the last couple of years, like your complete resume and the last few years where it's obvious, because both worlds are changing rapidly.
Right.
With the advent of the vertical passing game becoming such a big deal, and in college football specifically with the transfer portal and the changing teams changing conferences and player movement and players having more power. So there's a lot going on more in the college football level than the NFL level, but the NFL level is changing as well. I mean, it's with each year you're seeing more and more rules favoring the offenses, so it's difficult. So I think you have to look at both. You have to take both into consideration. That's what when I was doing my top 10s for each of them, I was like, all right, well, this guy was great, but this guy's a great resume. But, I think you have to look at the last few years because the games are changing on both levels and who's changing with the game and succeeding and who's fighting it and not succeeding or struggling a little bit.
All right, so we'll go through our top 10. We'll do 10 to 6 and then 5 to 1. But let's just do this real quick in the college football world. Now that Bill Belichick is gone, and like we said, last year he had dipped a little bit, so you might have already had Andy Reid ahead of him. Now I think we all feel like Andy Reid's probably going to be at the top. Now go to the college game. Nick Saban is no longer on the sidelines. This is going to be a weird year for a lot of SEC fans to not see Nick. Heck, Oklahoma and Texas were dying to get in the SEC. The news broke in 2021. And they'll never get to see or coach against Saban. And for that many seasons, they've been thinking they were going to get to see him, right. and they haven't been able to. So Saban's gone. A year ago, with Kirby as the defending national champion head coach, they had won back-to-back.
Yeah.
Would you have already put Smart ahead of Saban?
Well, you guys know I did it. The last 2 years.
That's right. You did it Saturday Down South.
The last 2 years I've had Kirby Smart ahead of him. Because I think more in college football than the NFL, it's are you adjusting? Mm-hmm. The last 3 years since the transfer portal and since player movement have entered the equation, are you adjusting and moving with the trend or are you fighting it? And Saban fought it. And Kirby moved with it.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And Kirby leaned into it. And look what happened.
Right. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but Nick gave him a goodbye gift.
He did.
The SEC championship.
A little goodbye kiss, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still the king.
And he's still the king.
I'm still the king.
He still has He's still got the record against Kirby, does he not?
Oh yeah.
Okay, there it is.
And by
that
the way,
was a goodbye kiss.
I still would have had him ahead of Kirby.
Yeah, I would have had him too, but I like the way Nick did it though.
Yeah.
I honestly think the difference between Nick and Belly is the argument there for Belly is Brady. I don't think it's about like what he did in the past compared to what he did the last few years. I think it's about what he did with Brady compared to what he didn't do with him. You know what I mean? And I think with Nick, it's different.
Okay. I got you.
Nick won with McElroy. Nick won with A.J. McCarron. Nick won with Jacob Coker, a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Nick had one of the best teams in college football history with Mac Jones.
Well,
you can go down the road as far as quarterbacks and as far as players, and Nick won with many different iterations of not only running the ball and throwing off play action, going wide open with Lane Kiffin and Sark. He won many different ways.
Yeah, but he also had a lot of good around him too.
No, he did, but
he had a lot of great around.
He also procured that great around him too.
Yahtzee. But here's the thing.
He recruited it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which in the NFL you have to draft it and hope it pans out. Mm-hmm. As far as college football goes, as Alabama, they had the pickings of 5 stars, 4 stars here. So you can assemble.
Well, you could say they had the pickings, but he had to get them.
Okay, but remember,
because not everybody can get those players.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
But this is it's a totally different chessboard in college.
It is. There's no doubt it is.
Absolutely.
And you have a GM that has a huge hand and say, and a salary cap which has a huge hand and say in the NFL compared to the college game. And this is where, remember, Leon, when Matt and I would go back and forth, you can be more successful more often and over a longer haul in college if you've got it going than in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the NFL is designed for parity. College football is not.
Loser goes to the front of the line, winner goes to the back of the line in the NFL. That's never been the case in college football. You win, you can stay. You Saban kept getting those classes that you're talking about.
Yeah. And then before NIL, I mean, he could stress a lot of those players, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You can stress them a lot more than you can now because these kids getting paid. But, you know, maybe 10 years ago when Nick was dominating college football, he could stress those 5 and 4-star kids because he would always tell those kids, hey, listen, I don't care how good you are, we're recruiting somebody to replace you.
That's right.
That's the old Jimmy Johnson tactic.
Yeah.
Well, he also could line him up and stack him up on his depth chart. He didn't play Derrick Henry for a year and a half.
That part.
Think about that.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
Derrick Henry wasn't like his legit number 1 running back for like a year and a half.
It's something else that, and by the way, Derrick Henry didn't become Derrick Henry, the Heisman Trophy winner, until Nick's team beat LSU and Leonard Fournette. That was the game that he rose. And I think most Bama fans would have to at least get into that argument a little bit, because that's the game he won that Heisman Trophy. There's no question.
I also think it's like there was a brief moment there where we were all, and by I mean all, I mean media, fans,
Right.
everyone, we're watching Alabama saying, give the guy the ball. Screaming at the TV, what are you doing, Kiffin? Give him the ball.
Yeah.
And they finally did, and then he became what he became.
Yeah, and he, I think you're right that he sat back, and we'll remind Crimson Tide fan, Derrick Henry thought about leaving. Derrick Henry was not happy the way he felt like he should be, and was ready to at least look around. And then, of course, this is pre-NIL. With the NIL, he probably would have been gone faster, sooner than later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so these guys are able to live off of the luxury that they had before, which they won't anymore, because NIL, transfer portal, a lot of things have changed the way that they can govern their roster, use the bench as their best ally or coaching tool.
Yeah, there's none of that going on anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
But at the same time, these players also have to find a way to get better, mature, because we don't know whether any of these guys, they got promised a bunch of money that's going to go from zip code to zip code, change from black and red to orange and blue. We don't know whether they're going to get the job done or not.
No, but let's be a little honest here. Is there are guys that are just going to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
There are also guys, and I don't think this can't be said more strongly, is there are also guys that are in it to be developed, to go to the right program because they like the school, the coach, how the coach is developing them. There are guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know what the percentage is, because I couldn't even dream up what the percentage is. But there's definitely some on both sides where guys are just trying to get that money.
Yeah.
If it's not going to work, I'm going to the next place. There's also guys that, you know what, I like this coach, I like this staff, I want to get developed.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm okay
totally.
I'm totally okay with kids wanting to go there for the money. Just make sure that your love for the game is still a part of you going to where you're going. That's all I'm saying.
Right. The foundation to all of that is
Yeah.
the players are getting money, and I'm very good with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're reaching a point, though, where everyone is going to try and figure out exactly where we are. I do think it's kind of it's starting to get baked in to where we're understanding it a little bit better. Coaches are understanding it. Players are understanding it. People who are contributing money are understanding it a little bit better.
Well, I mean, coaches have still got to be profound in the fact that when they bring the kid in and pay him, that he's a lion that still wants to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be that lion in the zoo.
But
get
that's no
fed.
different than the NFL and free agency, bro. Same thing.
Oh yeah,
You bring
absolutely.
your free agent in with a lot of money, you gotta make sure he still wants to hunt.
Still want to hunt. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
But the beautiful thing about free agency is that once there's a finite number of players. We got to remember that. There's only so many of them. The crazy thing about college football right now is that free agency is happening every minute, every moment. It's not happening, okay, what do we do in the NFL offseason? Hey, free agency opens up, early March.
Yeah, there's a March, yeah.
And you got the tampering period, and you've got this many free agents.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only time, and that's the only number of players.
If time is your
is
your variable, I understand what you're saying, but the Jaguars just gave Eric Armstead a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Does he still want to hunt? Is that not a question, right?
Well, no, it's definitely a question.
Well, I mean, you got to look at his resume.
Right.
Yeah.
And outside of him being injured, he's been formidable.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt
right.
about it.
So-
I have no doubt at all.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is he's got a lot of money.
He does.
Does he want to hunt? He's been in the league a while. He's,
Well,
30 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's right
he's
there.
been in the league for a minute. So, I mean, the Jaguars have a lithium of information on him.
I know, and I'm not putting it just on him.
Yeah,
I mean every free agency in the
Like, you
league,
could go-
in the NFL. You can say it for any of them.
Yeah, you could go Calais, who you mentioned is one
Absolutely.
of the next four great players this team has seen. He had a 3-year run that was incredible here, and he was hungry after a decent career. He came here, he got
True.
paid.
True.
And so the one thing I was going to finish with you, Leon, as a free agent is that, like in college, these guys are getting paid without knowing what they're capable of.
True.
Arch is getting paid right now. Arch Manning, we mentioned him yesterday. We have no idea what he's capable of. But when these guys get paid, then they want to shine, I think.
Yeah.
Most
Well,
of
you got to also remember in the information age, the social media age now, a lot of these cats that are getting money and not producing, they're getting bantered.
They get
all right?
exposed.
They got to handle a lot more banter social media wise. Now how they attend to it is up to them. But it's fair when you sign, if you coming in as a freshman and you're making $3 million a year and you haven't played a down, hey.
Yeah.
Plus, you also have to look at it this way with college football is, excuse me, a lot of these guys, like Cam Ward started out at the SCS level at Incarnate Word. Then he went to Wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for now a high level to play to increase his draft value. So he's going to Miami. So he is jumping from team to team, but he's improving. He's moving up.
Right.
So
right.
I think a lot of those guys in the portal are like that. Now, there are some that are not, like Quinshon Judkins left Ole Miss because he didn't think Ole Miss was going to give him enough. And Ohio State offered to give him a lot more.
And by the way.
So he's clearly chasing money. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But he's also an elite player. So let's see how badly he wants it.
I was going to say two things on that one with Judkins is that he is an accomplished player. So that's why he got paid. And then follow that with what you just said. How badly does he want it? Is he going to keep?
Right. Now that he's got paid, is he gonna work?
But he still has the drive to get drafted. That's the one thing that's going to keep these guys in college. At least I would think hungry.
And you also got their team are advising them that you need more money. So I mean, you've got that variable is family, team. You got to go ask for more money to make a move to another place to get more exposure. So these kids are having to deal with a lot.
All right,
we
got all that to get into. You guys hit the text line 641-1010. We'd love to hear from you. You can go to YouTube. You can start streaming the show. You miss any part of the show, all you got to do is go back and search XL Primetime, and you got all that opportunity to listen to the entire show. We appreciate that for sure. Appreciate Beaver Chevy and Beaver Toyota, two great dealerships, a lot of great people that cross over from dealership to dealership. But know this, Brett and the boys that are running Beaver Chevy and Nick and his entire crew at Beaver Toyota, they are there to take care of you. No question about it. And you can log on beavertoyotastAugustine.com, beaverchevrolet.com. Start shopping there and see those cool rides that you can ride off in anytime. Now, let's get to our first half of our top 10 in the NFL, first half of our top 10 in the college football world. And we would love for our primetimers to play along. So you guys start to think about your rankings and shoot them our way.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Start your day the 1010XL way.
A little more down to earth.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You boys could use a little churching up.
The Drill.
So beggars can't be choosers.
Mornings.
That's a good joke. That's humorous.
On 1010XL.
After consulting with several orthopedic specialists about my constant knee pain, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and Dr. Chris Swanson to handle my surgery. Their professionalism let me know this team was the one for me. The surgery was very successful, and if I ever have a future need, I'll continue to trust Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to take care of me.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Ready to drive away with a fortune? Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for our Fairways to Fortune giveaway. Over $30,000 in prizes are up for grabs, including a top-of-the-line 6-seater golf cart. Join us July 27th at Best Bet St. Augustine for the big giveaway and hourly cash drawings. Come play and win big at Best Bet St. Augustine, located on State Road 207, seconds away from the I-95 exit. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Summer's here, and whew, let's talk about something sizzling. Making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, It's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding about that. That's such a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, and Mike Dempsey and Hacker and more than 21,000 others. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Attention homeowners, is it time to get your septic tank pumped out? Don't wait until it's too late. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic, our experienced technicians use the latest equipment to pump out your tank safely and efficiently, ensuring that your septic system is running smoothly. Neglecting your septic tank can lead to costly repairs and even health hazards. So call Duck Duck Rooter and schedule your septic tank pumping. Call now, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's more American than grilling out for the 4th of July? Check out southernsteerbutcher.com or our social media channels for all of our 4th of July specials running June 29th through July 7th.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
As soon as possible.
at 641-1010.
This is Pretection. Yep, Pretection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Baloo for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
The coolest thing going on right now is the summer fan sale with 3 ways to save at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Browse their huge selection of high-quality fans to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off summer pricing on all fans. Visit their showroom near the avenues while inventory is still available and discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Men suffering from ED or PE, see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call 904-664-8217, 904-664-8217.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, this is where we need to go ahead and put Instagram on live in the break because it just cracks me up, some of the stuff we're talking about. But, Bronny James, according to a report coming out of L.A., will sign a multi-year guaranteed contract. And this, it says, and I love the way it's worded. This is Shams Charania. Bronny James plans to sign a multi-year guaranteed rookie contract with the L.A. Lakers, sources telling The Athletic. in the stadium, 55th pick overall. Now, here's the other part that I love about it. The story goes, typically, players who are selected in the second round have not received guaranteed contracts. They instead have to compete at a high level at both NBA Summer League and their respective
or
teams.
contracts in general, guaranteed or not.
Wow.
And so the essence of what's going on is the LA Lakers do not have LeBron James under contract.
Right.
They do not. He opted, used his clause, is an unrestricted, and plans to come back. At least that's most people's estimation of what's going on down in La La Land. But LA, the Lakers, and Rich Paul, his agent, are going to make sure they do whatever they can right now.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they can to make LeBron happy.
Yeah.
And that means giving his son a second-round pick guaranteed money, probably the first time in the history of the NBA. Because I thought that when you're in the second round, you gotta make your way through the summer league and all other kind of stuff to get yourself in a position to where you get a contract. No, not LeBron, not Bronny. Bronny gets full load, baby. He gets the full bounty.
Matt, were you saying that
to,
this is a sad state of affairs?
I'm trying to wrap my mind around this right now, okay? Because the kid averaged 5 points a game at USC, was not a starter. If you're Bronny, don't you look in the mirror and say, oh, this is a little weird. The only reason I'm in the NBA is because of my dad. The only reason I have a job is because of my dad. The only reason I have a guaranteed contract is because of my dad. Yeah, I'll be very happy here.
Yeah. What's that called? Nepotism?
It's nepotism, definitely.
There it is.
It's definitely nepotism.
It is nepotism. But
the thing is like, I mean, don't you have like any inner fortitude if you're Bronny? Like knowing the only reason you're in the league is because of your dad?
Yeah, it does.
Probably not. That's probably not. Look, I think kids are used to getting whatever it is they get.
No,
okay?
they're not. No, some of them are not.
Hear me out. If kids are getting the smallest amount of whatever they get because that's all they can afford, they get used to it. If kids get everything because that's what they can afford, they get used to it. And Bronny's probably used to getting a lot of things going his way. And no matter what, he's going to have a guaranteed contract for the rest of his life because he's the old man is LeBron. So he's got some guarantees in his life he can count on. But in this case, this is Rich Paul squeezing the Lakers. And LeBron, in some respects, saying, hey, let's just see how this thing plays out. Make me happy. And LeBron...
It's no different than like a huge law firm hiring his son or his daughter to be an attorney at that huge firm when they have no business being at that huge firm. It's no different than that.
I love what Woj, Adrian Woj...
Wojnarowski.
Yeah,
I don't know why you guys...
All I got to do is sneeze when I say it. But anyway, Woj he's
like
one of the first guys who came out and said, give me a break with this nepotism. It's everywhere. It's in the front offices. It's in the coaching. You can go around sport. If you have a name, which is what led us to our conversation the other day about the best juniors or sons of, they're going to be afforded a chance.
Yeah, but you know what's sad about this whole story is that the kid that they picked out of Tennessee is actually a baller.
Yeah.
Dalton Connect.
Have you heard anything about Dalton Connect?
No. Just Bronny. That's a great point. All right,
let's like Dalton Connect. He's going to be a player.
Yeah, he's going to be a player.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to our coaching exercise and when we started to boil it down, where would we put one Douglas Peterson among the top 10, among the top half of the head coaches in the National Football League? Matty, go ahead. Let's go 10-6.
10-6. All right. So starting out with a little foundational aspect here is my first few, I kind of lean toward the now. Whereas the rest of the group from like about really 8 on, I kind of lean more of what has been in addition to of late. So anyway, that being said, I love what Nick Sirianni's done with Jalen Hurts. And I think that in and of itself, and the fact that they win, and he's figured out a short distance play that no one can stop.
Right.
No one. And he's got a quarterback that can run it. I got Nick Sirianni at 10. I got Dan Campbell, who I think has just done a phenomenal job with the Lions, and it's him in that front office, the way they've drafted, the way they've developed, the way they've resurrected Jared Goff's career. And quite frankly, I'm on Ross St. Brown, too. Because he was never that type of player. So they I can't wait to see Jameson win, but I think he's going to be a really good player this year under them. So I like Dan Campbell at 9. I got Mike Tomlin at 8 for all the obvious reasons and the fact that quarterbacks come and go there, players come and go there, and they just keep winning. They just it's November and December all around, and they're still in the playoff hunt every flipping year. And I got Sean Payton with the Broncos at 7. I know he struggled with Russ last year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be different this year. I think he's going to be a little more free now. The fact that he under the idea of he doesn't have to glad hand Russ. And then at 6, I got Kyle Shanahan with the Niners, which I think a lot of you guys are going to think that's too low. But
that's a little low.
You know what?
It's a little low.
I get it, but the 5 ahead of him, I'm telling you, it's hard. My 5 ahead of him, the way I see this, it's very difficult to put him in front of those guys.
Okay.
You're taking the totality of everything.
All right.
That's
okay.
interesting. 10
all right.
6, Hurst.
All right. Number 10, I've got Sean McDermott. All right. So I picked a defensive-minded coach. You got Josh. He's got Josh Allen. Made the change with the offense coordinator. Came over with a more run-orientated team and still let Josh boo Joshua. Number 9, Dougie Fresh. That Doug Peterson at number 9. You know, I tried to step away from it because I had him a lot lower.
It's a big jump for you, by the way.
It is a big
16 to
jump.
9.
It is. Right. He went up the charts with a bullet. But can't have that mess. We can't have the mess that we had last year. You know, this team's got to play a lot better. At number 8, I don't know why I put him. I had when you go 12-5, and you go 12 wins in a row. I put Mike McCarthy. I put the Dallas Cowboys. I put him at number 8. He's got a Super Bowl ring. But they got to be the most underachieving team in the NFL. They come in every year with the hype. They win all the 12 games. They get in the playoffs, and they blow it.
That's what hurt me with him.
Yeah.
He has everything right now with the Cowboys, and they cannot get
Can't find a way. Can't find a way to get a championship. Get to a conference championship, or let alone the Super Bowl. All right, number 7, love this guy. This guy reminds me of Bill Cowher, Dan Campbell. I mean, outside the ankle biting, okay? He's tough.
I don't mind ankle biting.
Nah, me neither. I'm just saying he just reminds me of Bill. You know, we got the spit going everywhere. And he's intense. He's into the game and all that. The players love him. I can tell by the way they play. They play to the identity of their coach. Tough, physical, hard nose. I love that about the Lions. And number 6, I'm a little iffy on this. I went with Matt LaFleur. I went with Matt LaFleur at Green Bay. You know, he had the Aaron Rodgers situation where they won a lot of games. You make the transition to Jordan Love. Struggled a little bit in the first half of the season, but I don't think anybody played better than Jordan Love down the stretch. Yeah. And then you go into D-Town, you come away with a victory, had a chance in the divisional round to win, lost it late. But I had Matt LaFleur at number 6.
Yeah, I tell you what, I absolutely love Matt LaFleur, and I'm a guy that I just did not think I would see what I saw from Jordan Love with that go around. All right, so let me jump in here and make sure I have my numbers right. I got my top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I had to make a tough decision because Mike Tomlin, while great in terms of longevity and accomplishment, think of a lot of times that they just didn't get everything out of the talent that they had. They had above 500 records, but they would quietly exit the playoffs. And if you go back the last couple of years, really post Ben Roethlisberger, or when Ben wasn't the same guy, they weren't the same football team. And I feel like Mike Tomlin, in a lot of ways, just did not get as much out of when you're in the postseason as maybe he should. He has got an unbelievable record. But I had him hovering right there on that top 10 level, so I'm leaving him out. I'm going to go 10, Sean McDermott. And it's funny, Leon and I'm almost positive have identicals 10, 9, 8. Sean McDermott, I think, puts on a really, really good brand of football. And he has made a lot of Bills Mafia fans happy up there. He's made Josh Allen a very complete and good quarterback. He's had good play callers. He got rid of one and put Joe Brady in there, and they didn't really miss a beat. Lost Brian Dable to a head coaching position, and they didn't miss a beat. And McDermott comes from the defensive side and has done a pretty damn good job. So I'm going to keep him in my top 10 for right now. Doug Peterson took a team that picked number 1 overall back-to-back years and took them to the postseason. So I have no problem saying Dougie is among the top 10, especially when you consider what he did with St. Nick and the Philly special, and then obviously what he's done here. He needs to not have the collapse that he had at the end of the year, which brings me to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had the same thing. And so Leon and I were kind of thinking a lot of the same stuff. I put Dan Campbell right behind him. And the only reason I love Dan Campbell, okay? The guy tears in his eyes, I guess. He's not afraid to cry. He's not afraid to show emotion, and they do feed off of him, and he's a tough son of a gun. And I remember when he was an interim guy, I didn't think he would be able to translate over the long haul and be a good coach. He's been a damn good coach. And let's also give his GM credit for giving him a lot of really, really good players. All right, and then number 6, Sean Payton. You can't ignore what he has done. It's so funny. Dan Campbell, and I'm trying to remember what his win percentage is. It's below 500. Mm-hmm. And Sean Payton has one of the better win percentages in the National Football League.
Just barely, Dan Campbell, by the way. He's
just barely.
Quickly.
Yeah. And so he's coached a ton of games, and even with that lousy year that he had, he still has got a pretty dang good record. So that would be number 6 for me. So that's where we are. Let's hit 5 through 1 coming up here in just a second, and then we'll get to the college football college football head coach rankings coming up in just a little bit. We got to talk a little Oklahoma and Texas because we did bring them up yesterday as far as who can get out of the box hottest first in the Southeastern Conference. It has a lot to do with their schedule, so we'll start to look at that coming up. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. It is a Beaver Tuesday right here on XL Primetime, and you can enjoy great deals any day of the week. Think of the SUVs, the pickups, the sedans, the economy cars, pre-owned or brand new, whatever you're looking for. On the Chevy side or the Toyota side, they absolutely can hook you up. We will keep it rolling. Our top 5 in the NFL, and then the college football head coach rank.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. More videos, more podcasts, more Jaguars, preps, and college football. More of everything you love about Jacksonville sports at 1010XL.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's in full swing, and air conditioners are fully stressed. But do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable all season long. Need a new AC system? Fenwick has free same-day estimates and next-day installations. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. Fenwick also offers same-day, 24/7 service, day or night, and their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Dave and Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, you have worked for Zero Res since you were 9 years old. What makes Zero Res the right choice for cleaning carpets and tile?
I can think of 3 simple reasons. We have the best process, the best people, and our promise to do the best cleaning possible every time.
So what deals is Zero Res offering for this month?
July is National Carpet Cleaning Month. So for home carpet cleaning, we're offering $49 per room, and for businesses, we're offering 20% off.
Sounds like a great time to get your carpets cleaned. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Strength and resistance training are some of the best forms of exercise you can do to strengthen your muscles and improve your body composition. It may also lead to important improvements in metabolic health, meaning your blood sugar levels are easier to manage, and it also increases how many calories you burn at rest. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans recommends resistance training twice per week in addition to cardio training. Let's get fit, Jacksonville.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 2nd, 1941, Joe DiMaggio hits a 3-run homer to extend his consecutive game hitting streak to 45 games, surpassing Willie Keeler's record.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally, hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Enjoy the thrill of the grill at John Smith Subs with specialty subs like the Steak Bomb, the Gator, plus a full lineup of cold and hot deli subs, including the best Cuban and Duval. Bring your big mouth to John Smith Subs on Hodges and JTB.
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in one day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
The latest in innovative imaging technology is at Ackerman Cancer Center. With total body MRI, PET, and CT scans, plus 3D mammography, offers unparalleled precision in cancer detection. Schedule your screening now at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
We wanted someone who knows exactly what it is to be the last team standing in February and is passionate about doing it and doing it again. That man is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson.
Well, that soundbite from the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shad Khan, that one resonated and lived a little better, longer than what he said about Urban Meyer. Okay, and so at the very least, Shad can say
he got it right that time.
Yeah, go ahead and play that one again because it's true. Because in a short amount of time, Doug Peterson did take this team from being worst and picking first to first in the AFC South, and ultimately back to the postseason. Now they weren't able to double up. We know that. And that's why we brought it up, just to kind of get a little bit of a feel, a primetime gauge as far as what our listeners are thinking, as far as where Dougie Fresh ranks. You guys can chime in. We got plenty that we'll get to. 641-1010, text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can definitely join XLP on a Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy. I'm getting clobbered, by the way, fellas, for the Mike Tomlin out of the top 10. And a couple of them are saying, why does Mike Tomlin get, pooped on every year? He's got when you take a look at what he's got one of the best coaching records in the history of the league. I don't get it. And I, like I said, I'll admit it. It's recency bias. It might even be a little, anti-black and gold. But I think Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. But when you start adding it up and you see a team that gets there but doesn't get far, you're going to become critical of them. And then another one on the text line, talking about Dougie versus Nick Sirianni, who I think we had him ranked up there pretty high. Doug did win a Super Bowl with Foles versus Brady and Bill, but Nick Sirianni had one of the better rosters, and look at how he flamed out and lost. So you can come at it both ways. The Eagles had a chance to win that game against the Kansas City Chiefs. We know that. It was a very, very good game. And Nick Sirianni was shot out of the cannon successful when he first got up there, replacing Doug Peterson and getting them to the Super Bowl. But last year, that one was just about as bad as what Dougie experienced here in Duval, because they won. I think they only won one out of their last.
Yeah, they started 10-1.
Yeah.
And they finished, 1-5 down the stretch.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
All right, let's get to our top 5 in the National Football League. Matt did not have Doug Peterson listed in his 10 through 6 roll call.
It's because I got him at 5.
You got him at 5.
I got Doug Peterson at 5. I said this last week, and I don't know how anybody can avoid this. To be honest, you're talking about a guy that walked into a situation where the franchise had back-to-back first overall picks in the draft. That's how bad this franchise was.
Yeah.
And, by the way, they were just coming off an 11th month nightmare of a ride with Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was all kind of trauma everywhere, trauma and drama.
And that's why they needed to work on those feelings.
Yes, and that's why they need to work on the feelings. I just think in the last 2 years they've won 9 games each season. I mean, it's 10 games if you include the playoffs. So I mean, you're talking about a guy that's won 19 games in 2 years after walking into a situation where he walked into the worst franchise in the league, period, without question. And he's developed a quarterback that potentially could be an elite player in this league. So, right. Yeah, and he's already won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, for God's sakes. Beating, by the way, the legend and the other legend, Belichick and Brady.
Got a statue out of that bad boy.
Got a statue out of it. So that's he's the classic example of what you've done and what you've done lately. Mm-hmm. And I know they tanked after 8-3. I've been as big a critic as anybody. I get that. But it's hard to overlook what he's done here outside of that tank.
All right, so 55th is where you got him. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep. 4th, and you guys aren't going to like this one either, but you're going to have to deal with it. Jim Harbaugh, Chargers. You look at what he did with the 49ers. It's very difficult to avoid that. You're talking about a guy.
It's a college move by you, but I like it.
It's not a college move because he was there for 4 years.
I know.
And he was in the NFC Championship game 3 times, Super Bowl once.
He was very successful.
And the other time they were 8-8, and he got into a headstrong battle with a guy I'm sure everybody knows, Trent Baalke.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to look at what he did with the Chargers and with the 49ers and not think, holy cow, this dude's going to do something with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He left the NFL because he was annoyed with the whole situation with the Niners. Went to college because he felt the pull of going to his alma mater and straightening out his alma mater, which he did, even though in the last year he might have, cheated a little bit. But straightened them out, got them a national title.
Mm-hmm.
He will do wonders for Justin Herbert in that offense. I think the Chargers are going to be a dangerous franchise moving forward with him. Number 3, I've got, of course, what am I doing? Am I doing 5 through 1?
Yeah, you're going 5 through 1.
All right, number 3, I got Sean McVay, the Rams. That's a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer. I think the only question is he 3 or is he 2? The work he did last year alone clearly supports the Super Bowl run, no doubt about that.
Right.
I think they've had a lot of injuries too, and they've overcome a lot of injuries in the last couple of years. He's a terrific coach. Number 2, I got John Harbaugh of the Ravens. I love what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's done it for such a long time, and consistently they are among the best teams in the league every single year in and year out. And the way that he's used different coordinators and different quarterbacks coaches to develop Lamar Jackson. And remember, Lamar Jackson was not really considered a thrower when he got into the league. He has developed into a thrower. He's developed into a legitimate NFL quarterback. I mean, you have to give John Harbaugh credit for that. And one is, of course, the legend, Mr. Cheeseburger.
Yeah. There's nothing that you could negatively say about Andy Reid.
Cheeseburger. Robble, really?
Yeah.
You there?
Well, he's the one that says it all. He loves cheeseburgers.
He loves cheeseburgers.
Yeah, he does. All right, 5 through 1, Big Sirs.
All right. Number 5, I've got Sean McVay.
Mm-hmm.
For all the things he just said. I mean, This guy did more with less than anybody. Probably last year they had the 24th best odds to go to the Super Bowl and they make the playoffs. And I like the way they pick the draft picks. Puka is a superstar.
Oh my God,
he's absolutely a superstar. Yeah. He's a stud in the making. Number 4, Mike Tomlin.
Okay,
I have Mike Tomlin at number 4. Having him at number 4 has a lot to do with the fact of the streak and the 2 Super Bowls he went to. But and no matter what the Steelers are, whether the quarterback situation, they're always going to have a sound defense. But only knock I have on Mike Tomlin is over the last 8 years, he's not won a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Not won a playoff game the last 8 years. He's won. Now he's had a winning record over all those years he's been a coach, but over the last 8 years, he has not won a playoff game. So he's been in it. He's been in it 5 times, hasn't won. Only 5, which is sad. All right, number 3 is John Harbaugh. I got John Harbaugh at number 3. Reasons, what Matt had alluded to, the fact that the developing of Lamar Jackson's defense is always sound. They're tough, they're physical. Only problem that I had with them is that in the championship game, they had an identity crisis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your number 1 rushing offense in the league, run the damn ball against the Chiefs. Okay,
that will leave a mark.
That will leave a mark. Now, getting Derrick Henry is going to definitely help them this year. So the Ravens have always been consistently in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They've always moved mountains over the last half a decade or decade or so. So I can appreciate that. Number 2 is Kyle Shanahan. I got Kyle Shanahan at the 49ers because of the facts that he keeps them moving. They just can't listen. Their kryptonite is KC. I mean, they're one of the dominant teams in the NFL year in and year out, consistently on both sides of the ball. They just can't win a chip.
Yeah.
And at number 1,
cheeseburger.
You call him cheeseburger. I call him
cheeseburglar.
Yeah, I call him Santa. Santa. I got Andy Reid.
Yeah. You can call him anything you want. He's going to show up for dinner. That's all that matters.
That's all.
It's fun. You know, real quick with Andy Reid, will he become? Will we start to say, is it Andy Reid or is it Pat Mahomes? Just like we did with Belichick or Brady.
Well, Andy Reid.
Have we reached that? I mean, are we already there right now?
Well, we might, but Andy Reid did get Donovan McNabb and the Eagles to the Super Bowl, and he did get them to 4 straight NFC Championship games before actually cracking the egg and getting to the Super Bowl.
True.
And Patrick Mahomes will probably have to go somewhere and win another one.
Yeah,
let's say Patrick Mahomes, he wins 4 with KC, 4 more.
Yeah.
Then he goes to.
I was going to say, he's really close, bro. You must need 4 more.
I know.
Well, Andy not only got another team to the Super Bowl, granted they didn't win. It was against Brady's Patriots right here in Duval. We know that. But he also took another team in Kansas City to the postseason with Alex Smith before they did the deal for Mahomes. So Andy Reid's great. All right, so 5-1 for me. And again, I don't deny, like we said, we all have different reasons to put guys in certain spots, but recency bias in this case I do think matters. Matt LaFleur has impressed the hell out of me. He really has. They went to consecutive NFC championship games. Now, this is when he had Aaron. So you say to yourself, and this is what I said to myself, I'm like, wait till Aaron Rodgers leaves. Let's see what this cat's up to. Well, Matt LaFleur took Jordan Love, and they responded in the second half of the season, and that was one of those teams you just didn't want to play. The NFC North has Dan Campbell and the Lions, Matt LaFleur and the Packers, and both of them looking pretty dang good right now. So I really think that, and by the way, you take a look at his win percentage right now. He's coached not yet 100 ball games. He's in that 85 ball game range. He's got the best win percentage.
Yeah, you've moved me on the floor, by the way. I think I always thought it was Aaron Rodgers, and last year it should have been a very large awakening for me because Jordan Love looked fantastic.
Very revealing.
Not only did he look good, the way he plays the game, his mannerisms, exactly like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and LaFleur also comes under that Shanahan tree, and his win percentage right now is 56-27, 675.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty dang solid. So I really don't. I think he's a rising coach. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have as good a win percentage, but he's coached more games, and he's also been able to get to the Super Bowl with 2 different quarterbacks. One drafted last, one he traded for. One they traded up to get and didn't use, and he's been able to do a lot of different things. So Shanahan would be 3rd for me, or excuse me, 4th for me. Then Sean McVay. Sean McVay was able to get that team back this past year and make them very competitive with all the reasons you guys listed. And then the 2 at the top, John Harbaugh has won, and Harbaugh has won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, and then he just basically completely reinvented that offense with Lamar Jackson. So you got to give him credit for that. He's gone through a couple of different offensive coordinators doing it with Greg Roman and now Todd Monken. And so Harbaugh, the resume, the evidence is there, and, of course, Andy Reid at the top. All right, so those are, I think, good rankings to look at. You guys jump in, say we're full of it, say you agree, disagree, whatever, 641-1010. We'd love to hear from you. You can also get it on the chat on YouTube. Just search XL Primetime. Let's get to the college football coming up in the 3 o'clock hour.
Well, I mean, listen, I was to back-to-back. To win one is tough. To win two back-to-back is really tough. I mean,
the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Some people think he's Italian.
Passati fare a me.
Maybe he is.
I take everything.
Fat Tony on Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey.
I riusciti umani guiavuci a parlare con Fannucci.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com. American Electrical is looking for bright minds and hard workers to help light up North Florida. This community continues to grow, and now you can grow your career with a company that will make sure you succeed through commitment. American Electrical even has its own academy dedicated to training select students the electrical trade, and the best news, it's free of charge. Log on to american-electrical.com to find out more. They're leading the way in electrical contractors on the First Coast. american-electrical.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FAS is home at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark today and tomorrow. Tonight at 7:05 is Tulsa Welding Appreciation with free tickets for military personnel and dependents. Tomorrow is our biggest fireworks show of the year and free patriotic hats to the first 2,000 fans. All presented by the Nimnicht family of dealerships. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Moms and dads looking for some serious summer fun for your kids? Then check out I-9 Sports Flag Football Tournament Series. It'll run through June and July, and you can put a team together and join in on the action. Ages 4 to 14. Go to i9sports.com for all the details. It's happening at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows at their brand new turf facility. If you've got a youth flag football team or want to put one together, get ready for the I-9 Sports Flag Football Tournament Series this summer. Check it out at i9sports.com.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. Jaguars President Mark Lamping met with Jag senior writer John Ogier on the Ozone podcast this week and discussed how important it was to try and keep as many Jags games as they could in Jacksonville when they began construction, feeling accomplished to only have the Jags be away for 1 year.
It became very apparent to us that our fans wanted to keep as many games as possible in Jacksonville during the construction period. If you remember, our plan out was to be relocated for 2 seasons. After hearing that and hearing it very loudly, very clearly from our fans, we challenged the architects and the general contractor to see if they could resequence things a little bit. And the end result of that was we're only going to be away from 1 year. So that's probably the biggest thing and the most tangible thing that showed that, yes, our fans' fingerprints are all over this plan.
It's 87 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time in Temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
They've been a part of a really good run. I think most of them have been part of the 46 of the last 48 games. They've come out on top, and there's a reason why we've won those football games. You have good football players, and that usually equates to that.
All right, good football players win games, right? That's pretty safe to say. That's for sure. Any of these good coaches is because they had good football players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can definitely agree on that. Welcome into the 3 o'clock hour. It is XL Primetime, hanging out with you. Beautiful Tuesday, warming up. It's going to be, I'm thinking, a beautiful 4th of July. Although I did see the weather change a little bit today. Rain came sweeping in, and then they're starting to call for a little bit of afternoon rain on Thursday. Hopefully we're all good. Everybody will have time to go to the beach, barbecue, whatever it is you do on the 4th of July. All right, so 2 o'clock hour, most of it was NFL with our coaching rankings, and we definitely had good reaction as far as some of the rankings, some of them just panning our selections, other ones saying, okay, I get it. I get the logic, either the whole resume or what you've done for me lately type of thing. So let's get into the college football world and talk a little bit about the best ones because, honestly, when we saw these two things go down, the GOAT in the NFL stepping away, Bill Belichick, and we kind of knew that when Robert Kraft, the news leaked when they went across the pond coming back that Bill Belichick was not going to be retained. So we knew that much earlier than the Nick Saban news. But to have two, we're talking at the top of the pyramid guys walk out of their sport in the same either in the season or off season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Times are changing, bro.
Yeah.
Seasons change.
And you think to yourself,
felt a little melancholy there.
Yeah, I did.
Come on, man.
No, I didn't feel good when it happened. I'm just saying, I didn't feel good.
Believe me, there were definitely some Tide fans that didn't feel very good.
Well, also two guys that are very good friends too, like best friends.
And it was just, I don't know whether anything either happens by accident or it happened because the other one did it.
Right.
But I'm sure they had to have had a conversation.
I was just thinking that, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened the same week. You're trying to tell me they didn't have a conversation? Listen, let's go out this way. Same week. Because it happened the same week, didn't it? A week ago.
I'm trying to remember.
It was
similar.
It was
close.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah. And like we said, the news of Bob Kraft contemplating or letting Bill Belichick know that he thinks it's time to move on.
I think it was like a month later, right?
Yeah.
Because the NFL season ended.
Well, yeah. The season ended for
like
New
Saban
England.
was quick. Like
it became a formality.
After,
right after the playoff game, right?
Yeah. Because you had basically the second week of January was the college football.
He announced his retirement on the 11th of January.
11th of January? Okay. All right. Thank you, Casey. So you're looking at that, and you're just kind of getting a feel for both of those guys. They had to have had some conversation. All right, so let's get to the top 10 in college football.
Hang on real quick. I know you're going to get mad at me when I do this because you always get mad when I get distracted.
He is easily distracted.
But we're watching ESPN as we're talking, you guys. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers are introducing their draft picks.
There's Dalton Knecht.
There's Dalton Knecht, who you could make an argument was the best player in the country last year. And the other guy who's already signed to a multi-year guaranteed deal is Bronny James.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Dalton Knecht, I'm like insulted by that. Seriously.
But guess what? If you're Dalton Knecht and you have to sign for what Bronny James signed for to be the first to sign, then I'd be insulted by that. because he's going to make a lot more money.
I mean, you got a guy who was a backup on a team that didn't make the tournament, and you got a guy who was probably the best player in college basketball last year.
He was one of the best players.
Listen, first of all, the chain of command, being the first-round pick, you get the stage to yourself.
Right, there's something that has to be said for that, right?
Because, listen, LaVon Kirkland was a second-round pick behind me, right? All right? I'm first round. I get the stage to myself. I get
all the questions are going to Bronny.
Exactly.
They're not asking Dog Connect anything.
That is so disrespectful.
Thank you. See, Joe, so I guarantee I absolutely kind of stole the segment, but I couldn't let that go.
He's stealing his thunder.
I couldn't let that go.
He's taking his thunder.
Yeah.
Don't Connect. That's supposed to be his stage by himself, first-round pick.
I'd have to watch some of these NBA pressers and see whether or not second-round pick pops up, but I agree with you. At least I haven't seen too much of this. And I'm telling you, the Lakers show is becoming a little more La-La Land because,
it says, the ESPN line, the tagline says, Bronny James introduced by Lakers today. It says nothing about Dalton Connect anywhere on that line.
Yeah, which is idiotic. It really is. And by the way,
it is.
As like, just want to talk about idiotic, just pan over and see J.J. Redick, who just comes out of a podcast room or out of the NBA Finals broadcast courtside and is now the Lakers head coach. So there's a lot of odd to it.
What is ESPN doing right there? Seriously. Bronny James introduced by the Lakers? Are they serious?
Do you know who's typing these little things up? Okay. I mean, come on. Okay. You of all people should know this. Okay.
That's the reason why the NBA's falling right there. Because stuff like that.
NBA's not falling.
Well, it's
now you're going to tell me that's happening?
It's below the college football. I can tell you that. Well below it.
Well, it might be falling below some of the marquee games in college football, but it's not falling. Did you
take a look at
Did you take a look at the multi-billion-dollar contract that was just signed?
It's because live sports is everything now on TV.
Well,
it's literally everything.
Then that means it ain't falling.
Like we could have a live, we could have a live cornhole game, and that somebody would pay for that.
I dream one day of being a professional in the Cornhole League.
In fact, they do have a Cornhole League on ESPN. They do have it, actually.
Oh, believe me, they did. And it popped up through the pandemic. That's what breathes life.
They got professional pillow fighting.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, the Ocho. They definitely make sure that's...
Look how uncomfortable Don Connect looks. Seriously, he looks so uncomfortable right now.
All right,
let's get back to the coach.
All right.
People are supposed to be watching us on YouTube instead of that. Thank you. All right, so...
Sorry.
All right.
I just couldn't let that go, man. That was just annoying as hell.
Just change his mind by firing up some college football music, Casey, if you don't
There
mind.
it is.
That will actually do it.
Yes.
All right, Big Searcy.
All right. There we go. Puts me in the mood all the time.
Now college football's
all
not
right.
popular than ever.
At number 10, all right? I can't unsee what I saw last year, all right? I loved watching LSU football, all right? Offensive juggernaut, no defense whatsoever. But I loved watching LSU football, so I'm going with Brian Kelly at my number 10.
I like it.
All right. Number 9. He's the epitome of consistency. 19 years, only 2 losing seasons. He's a little low. I should have put him a little bit high because he's been in this game long enough. Kyle Whittingham, Utah. All right. I wanted to put him higher, but
that's pretty good.
Here are the guys that I got in front of him. At number 8, I got Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney from Clemson. All right. He won't use the portal. Doesn't like NIL, but he wins 10 games. He does. He does win 10 games. And it was a period of time where he dominated the ACC. 5 years in a row, he won the title. Won the ACC title 5 years in a row.
I feel your list is careening towards what you've done in the last couple of years are going to be the top guys.
Nah, I don't know. You don't.
All right.
We'll see.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Dabo's at number 8. At number 7.
It's like whenever my putt's about to go in, you don't yell, go in, because I know you're trying to jinx it.
Exactly.
Don't go in.
Number 7. Mike Norvell, Florida State. Had to give him love. All right.
How about that?
Yes. Mike Norvell's done a wonderful job over the last couple of years. He's attacked the portal. He's recruited well. And not only that, they've played well on the field. You know, how about that? You know, there's an afterthought. You attack the portal, you recruit well, and the kids play good. How about that? I'm not shooting the barrel at anybody. I'm just speaking my mind. You know. All right. And then number 6, I got Ryan Day. Keeps talent. Absolutely keeps talent. You know, is favored again this year. At some particular point, he's got to win it all. And even Urban Meyer's putting the pressure on him. Urban putting some heat on him, right?
I think you just put pressure on him when you made him 6th.
Yeah, I made him 6th.
Tressel put heat on him.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right. No, go ahead.
No, you do yours.
10 through 6. All right, so I'm sitting here and I'm fighting on a couple of them because, all right, I'm doing this just with a little bit of a smile when I do number 10. Number 10, because he makes $1 million a win, is Mr. Mark Stoops, okay? From the University of Kentucky. He deserves it. He earns it. He's got wingtips.
The program.
And the program, okay? And so I cannot help it. I have no problem putting him up there. All right, number 9. I'm going to put Lincoln Riley. And I kind of like where you went with the Brian Kelly because I call Lincoln Riley one of the best half of coaches in America because of what he did defensively a season ago. And so Lincoln Riley is my number 9, and he easily could be a lot higher up there if he would just fix that side of the ball. We'll find out whether he's going to do it or not. That's for sure. All right, number 8. And here's a guy that is just on the come, and I can't quite give him all the love that I'd like to give him. But Dan Lanning is a rising superstar to me, an absolute rising superstar. And I think Oregon is going to be red hot this year. And so I'm going to put him as my number 8. Number 7, I'm going to go, and I fought this one, because if you think about what James Franklin has done up in Penn State, he's done a really, really good job. But what has he done? And so I can't quite figure out until you get to a college football playoff, until you start knocking people off. But I'm still going to put him in the second half of my top 10. And then right in front of him, I am going to go Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin has done some extraordinary things in a place that not a lot of 10-win seasons have occurred. And he's done some really, really good things. So I have no problem putting Lane Kiffin there. I want him in Gainesville, but that's a whole nother. Forget about that.
You know what's interesting is I saw this somewhere that if the 12-team playoff was used for all the other years in the playoff, the previous year since 2014, that Penn State would have made the playoff 5 times. So he's getting them close. He just hasn't gotten past Ohio State in Michigan, and that's been the big. Well, Michigan somewhat, but not past Ohio State. That's been the big problem. And he's not, by the way, in my top 10. And I agree with you. He's got to. They've got to. He's got to show it. And this year they're loaded. They've got a quarterback. This is the year to do it if you're him. All right, I'm starting mine off at number 10 with Mike Novell. Just a phenomenal job. And I think what people kind of fail to grasp is before that loss to Georgia, which clearly wasn't the Florida State team, they'd won 19 in a row. 19 straight games.
Yeah, because they had gotten to that 10-win mark with that bowl win over Oklahoma.
That program that the year before they got there was playing Florida, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had to yell to the Florida State sideline that they were short one player to get a guy on the field. You're short one player.
You would think that might be bad coaching, but
that's what he walked into there.
He took over a bad situation.
Not only that, and then when he walked in there like a month later, COVID. Didn't get to see his kids for 6 months.
Yeah.
Physically be with them.
And ran into some trouble there with the way he handled it.
I mean, what he's done there is remarkable. And the way he's recruited the portal. Like that program was so far down that they weren't recruiting the high school level like they used to.
Yeah.
So he had to recruit the portal to get people to see, we can win with these guys. Now the high school guys are starting to jump on board. Now he's got a top 10 recruiting class. Now he's building another top 10 recruiting class. What he's doing there is remarkable, and they did a really smart thing by extending his deal and making him a $10 million man. He absolutely is worth it. Number 9 is, I'm with you with Dan Lanning. I love him. Yeah. I think he's going to build Oregon into like the Georgia of the West, but they've got to win games that matter. Well, they've done everything else. They've got to win games that matter.
They were in 2 big ball games, and they didn't win either one of them, and were both by a field goal? I'm pretty sure that.
Well, yeah. Well, all you had to do was kick 2 of the 3. Two of the 3 short field goals the first time. They won the first one.
It was nuts. By the way, I am getting clobbered on the text line by 2 guys that wouldn't kick when they should have. One being Dan Campbell, the other one being Dan Lanning. Don't disagree with you. I am an idiot that way.
Right. Number 8, I got Sark. And the problem I have with Sark, I shouldn't say problem. The hesitation I have with Sark is, I think at USC it was okay. At Washington it was okay. He got players at both places, but it never really developed. Obviously, for unique reasons at USC. He's now at the place to coach football. I mean, It's Alabama, it's Texas, it's Ohio State. Those are 3 the mega jobs. USC 4 mega jobs. He's had 2 of the 4 mega jobs now. And he's in a very good spot right now. He's recruiting really well. He's recruiting the portal really well. He's a brilliant play caller. He's on a little bit of a roll right now. He's got a chance to take a big step in these rankings by getting to the playoff and winning games in the playoff this year. 7, I love Kyle Whittingham. A lot of people might think he might sort of be a little bit higher. I love what he's done there. The fact that they were a throw-in for the Pac-12, and how many times did he win the Pac-12 there, and how many times were they playing for the Pac-12 there? Just a phenomenal job by him, but with not 5- and 4-star recruits, with literally developing those 3-star guys.
If I had not had Mark Stoops, I would have put Whittingham, but I was just having fun.
And then number 6, and a lot of people might think this is too low. I got Ryan Day at number 6.
Okay, all right. Because Leon had him lower than that.
I mean, Leon nailed it. The reality is, look, you can be a great recruiter, which he is. You can be a great play caller and offensive mind, which he is. You can win big games, which he does. But if you don't win the games that matter, where does that leave you?
All right. I like that. Let's get into the next 5. We got a conversation with our barbecue rib master, the winning Rich Tilsky, coming up in just a bit. It is XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Radio for Jacksonville by people who live and love Jacksonville.
That's right. That's exactly what it means.
1010XL. Bold City Radio.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
If you want high quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. Waterboyjax.com.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows. Case Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a CSB, has been an A school for org.
Who was the first baseball
valuable possession? Your home. For information on finding an agent, go to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Lou Gehrig was the very first baseball player and athlete, for that matter, to appear on a Wheaties box in 1934.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. Right, so my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Thank you very much. I can't tell you how pleased and honored I am to be your coach at the University of Alabama. The spirit and enthusiasm that has been demonstrated to myself and my family has been phenomenal since we arrived here yesterday afternoon.
That is hard to believe. It sounded like it was yesterday. It sounds so young, though. I mean, Nick Saban, you hear the enthusiasm when he took the job? That was the happiest he ever was in front of the media.
It's almost 20 years ago. Think about that.
Tuscaloosa. That's crazy.
Almost 20 years ago. That was 2007.
Wow.
Okay, 2007, because Herb took the job in 5. He took the job in 7. Okay, that's what it was.
It's almost 20 years ago.
He did sound young, didn't he? I'm telling you, that was the happiest he was ever in front of that media.
How can you tell?
And then he just ripped them after that.
Yeah.
He used them as puppets whenever he needed to. But that day had to take Crimson Tide fan back with a big old smile. And you know I love my Tide fans that listen to XL Primetime, and they're going to wonder a bunch how Kalen DeVore is going to do now that Nick is no longer there. They'll be sad for a while, but Kalen DeVore is recruiting his fanny off. And so if he can do that and marry it up with some of that offense he's got in his brain, he'll be pretty good. All right, so let's hustle.
All right.
Let's do our 5 down to 1 big search. We're doing our college football.
My number 5 is Dan Lanning, Oregon. I love Oregon ball. I love they play tough defense. They lights out offensively. So I love Dan. I like his demeanor. At number 4, I got Kellen DeVore.
Okay.
All right, Alabama. All he does is win. Every level, he wins. A little different now following a legend like Nick Saban. So I'll be very interested to see how this team plays. All right, number 3, I got Sark. I probably got him a little high, but he's brought Texas back. Texas ball has been desolate, kind of like Miami ball, 20 years.
Out in the hinterlands.
Exactly. Yeah. He's brought them back, got them in the championship, got them in the playoffs. So, my man, this number 2. I love Lane Kiffin, man.
Yeah.
I do. I love Lane, man. I love his attitude. I love his demeanor, everything about it. I love his cockiness, his arrogance, all that kind of stuff. You go in a place like Ole Miss and you win 10 games over the last 3 years. 11 games. I'm sorry.
School record 11 last
Absolutely.
year.
So I love Lane Kiffin. Hope y'all don't get him in Florida. At number 1, Georgia is now officially the evil empire. Now that Nick Saban has left, I used to call Alabama the Evil Empire because all they did is win. So Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs are now the Evil Empire. They win all the
troopers
They
everywhere.
are stormtroopers everywhere.
Oh my gosh! All right, 5 down to 1, and look, I fought this. It's interesting because the NFL, a lot of us agree on most of them, not exactly where they rank, but college football is so much more wide open. All right, so I went Mike Norvell number 5 because I think honestly, what he inherited and what he's done, he has put a big brand back in the college football playoff picture. So Mike Norvell, I have no problem putting him number 5. I have Brian Kelly, a true Southerner, number 4, because I love what he does in a short amount of time from Cincinnati to Notre Dame to now LSU, and he's produced either an SEC East title or a Heisman Trophy winner. Pick it up defensively, and those Cajun Cats will be all sorts of fired up. I have Ryan Day number 3. Because he hasn't won it all. But I'll defend him against you guys. You guys have Ryan Day low. The only guy he's had the misfortune of losing to recently is Jimmy Harbaugh and those big ball games. How close was he against Kirby Smart when he had C.J. Stroud and everything there? So I don't have any problem. I take a look at his record, guys. 56-8. How the H can you put him below there? I got Dabo with titles 2, and I got Kirby with titles 1.
All right, I got number 5. I love that Leon put Lane Kiffin at 2. Love it. Yeah. Love it. I wanted to make him higher, but I got him at 5. I mean, what he's done at Ole Miss is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. And the way he's embraced the portal and the way he knows how to use the portal, somebody's going to get a really good coach, if not this coming year, the following year, because he's primed for a bigger job. He could make Ole Miss a huge job for that matter. All he's got to do is win big this year, which he very easily could. They've got a very good team. So he may not be available for Florida if it doesn't work out for Billy Napier. At number 4, I struggle with this one, but I've got Dabo at 4. I understand the idea of it hasn't looked good the last couple years, but it's hard for me to just throw away what he's done. And I think you also have to understand that we're also talking about it doesn't look good by the standard that he built, because they've won 10 games. How many straight years they win 10 games?
Oh, just really.
At least 10 games, which is remarkable in this day and age in college football. So I think what he's done has been rare. The reality is he also doesn't have Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence anymore, or for that matter, even Taj Boyd. Now, can Cade Klubnik be that guy? Can he develop into that player? Maybe. We'll see. This is year number 2 under Riley.
Yeah, it's the idea of when you only win 10, people are second guessing.
Right, and Garrett Riley's a really good OC, so let's see what he does now in year 2 under him, and if Clemson can make that move offensively. At 3, I've got a guy who's won 104 games and 116 career contests. That any good with Kalen DeBoer?
That is pretty good.
So he was moving up no matter where he was coaching, whether it was Washington or whether it was Alabama. He wins championships too. Look at what he did at Washington last year. Just a phenomenal coach, and I think he's going to only get better at Alabama. They're right now in the 2025 recruiting, they're number 2 overall in the country. And that doesn't happen for a guy who goes to a school. Usually there's a year where they struggle with a class, and then they hit big. He's right out of the gates crushing it.
And by the way, this is after the exodus of a lot of talent, too.
Yes.
So normally you have a lot of talent leave, you'd worry.
Like 5 legit dudes that would have been main starters for them,
I really want to know how he marries up with the SEC. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, at 2, I got Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly's just a phenomenal coach, despite the differences between he and our coach.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's a terrific coach, and I think he will win a national title at LSU. That's going to happen. At 1, it's the Death Star, man. And Leon's right. Georgia is the new Death Star.
Yeah, they are.
And Kirby is the new Darth Vader. He's it.
But for you to
he's
put
everything.
Brian Kelly and Kalen DeBoer that high up, it is interesting. We did have one off the text line, high tide on the south side. Dynamite Kirby bump in. Georgia won 46 of 48 games. Who were those 2 losses to? And so, yeah, they are the ones who had to deal with Nick. And now we'll see whether Kalen DeBoer can be the exact same kind of guy with all that he has in Tuscaloosa, because Lord knows he's got it. That's for sure. All right, we got a few more that we'll try and get to. But we had our July 4th cook-off today. celebrating the 4th of July, which we'll all be off for, but we invited each of us, shows-wise, to bring something in, and we were in the rib category, and our rib master came through. So let's say hello to one of your old line mates coming up here in just a second on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Hot summer heat.
I'm out summertime, so babe, need something to keep you cool.
Keep it cool all summer long with 1010XL, Jacksonville's cool summer station.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
What smelled funny but smells great? A Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. Kuhn Flowers. The name is synonymous with excellence for over 75 years. High Flying Jacko here for your next floral purchase. Call on Kuhn Flowers.
What's more American than grilling out for the 4th of July? Check out southernsteerbutcher.com or our social media channels for all of our 4th of July specials running June 29th through July 7th.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. Look, I depend on South State for so many things: personal accounts, small business banking, and banking for our nonprofit. South State Bank can help you reach all your financial goals too, whether you're just starting out or focused on financial planning. South State offers convenience with their online and mobile banking. You should check out South State Bank, as they were recently recognized by Forbes as one of America's best banks. That's South State, banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 2nd, 1941, Joe DiMaggio hits a 3-run homer to extend his consecutive game hitting streak to 45 games, surpassing Willie Keeler's record.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand-new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.
120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
It's the Big One sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 per month. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock and more than 100 vehicles under $18K. And you even get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Shop the Big One sales event, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Let me tell you something. We had a killer cook-off earlier today, the July 4th 1010XL cook-off. And by the way, XL Primetime is always the one that's going to kind of be the tent pole. You know what I'm talking about,
The tip
right?
of the spear.
The pole right there in the center of the tent that holds everything else up with this radio station. Because between cooking turkeys and cooking ribs and cooking lasagna, this is what XL Primetime is all about. Well, we've got one of Leon's old line mates, Rich Tilsky. Let's set him up, Big Search, because he cooks some killer ribs.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, I had to give him the proper introduction when he came to the 1010. The champ is here. The champ is here. Everybody was complaining that he was late, but listen, you don't rush perfection.
You can't. You got to make sure they're done before you let them in, man.
Yeah, welcome in, and I'm glad that you were able to get him done. So real quick, we might talk some football, but let's just talk barbecue first, because Rich is a former offensive lineman and stayed in Jacksonville, pouring concrete. We'll talk about that coming up in a second. But what's your rib strategy as far as getting ready, get the ribs ready, and then get them on the smoke?
The getting them ready, the one thing, I don't rub ribs. I sweat the rubs in. So, that's what takes the time too. But after that, it's just fire management, and then, having a good product that, number one, everybody enjoys. That's my main thing is, hopefully it'll wow you a little bit, and tickle the taste buds. And the main thing is just my ribs. I don't like pulled pork ribs. I like a little snap on them and slide off the bone. And I've been doing it a while, so And
Matt, you can speak to that.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued by this. You said you sweat the ribs. So how do you do that? Explain that.
So usually it takes about an hour for me to season my ribs or my pork. So I'll season half. Let it sit out for about 30 minutes where the meat will actually sweat.
Got it.
And then it'll actually pull some more of that flavor in there. It's even better than a binder and rubbing them. And then I'll flip them over, rub the other, douse it with the rub, let it sweat in, and then throw them on the grill. Let the wood and the smoke do the magic.
And you do wood, right? He's not doing pellets or gas, JoJo. He's wood.
Well, I confessed. I confessed to Rich earlier. Look, I don't even mind admitting that I am almost a rib roaster because I have been caught putting ribs in the oven.
Yeah.
Oh my
fully
God, that's
wrapped.
sacrilegious, man.
Fully wrapped. Listen to me. Fully wrapped, and then I put them in there. I get it on 450 degrees. I cover it up.
Yeah.
I do it 30 minutes, just red hot, as hot as it can be. Yeah. Then I turn the oven off, leave them in there for 30 more minutes. Then I take them to the grill, and then I just put my wood chips underneath them and just start bringing that flavor in. And look, I don't apologize. I'm a gas grill man. I can't hide it.
To each his own. But Yeah, you lost me at guh. But anyway, it's just something that what you were calling was a parboil technique, and a lot of people use that. It produces delicious ribs, especially if you ain't got the time or whatever. If you can get that tenderness and that consistency with wood fire, it's just a whole nother world.
Yeah.
There's a difference, you go a wood fire steak.
Yeah.
Food just tastes better cooked with wood, in my opinion.
Right.
And what's great now is there's a lot of machines out now that makes it really easy for someone who doesn't have the time, a pellet smoker or, anything like that.
And so you will use just regular oak or whatever?
Yeah, well, so those ribs were smoked with cherry and a pecan mix.
Oh. See, that's the way to go, cherry. I use cherry all the time. That's the way to go, baby.
Nice.
Yeah. See, I just use like a Weber kettle, man. Literally I keep them off the fire, obviously, and it just smokes it the whole time. Little bit of fire.
And that's great. Weber produces a great product. It's just for the amount that I do, it's hard.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're right.
Yeah, but the guys that do smoke with Webers, I mean, that they've been around time, and of course you got the wood chips that you can soak and all that, and put the flavor on there. Mm-hmm. And I love charcoal. I love charcoal on steaks.
Right.
I don't, and I will add wood chips to that.
Right.
In the cooking process. So,
all right, let's talk a little Jaguar football before you go. And it was funny. I was asking Leon about this, and you guys both immediately remembered this. But I think it was Freddie T that put the video out. It might have been somebody else. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they showed the Dolphins playoff game when this team went on their run, and it was Tony Brackens destroying the Miami offensive line, getting to Dan Marino, swatting the ball out, picking it up. And then, you guys remember this. There was a celebration on the field. He thought the play was over.
Yeah, he thought the play was over. You got to remember, he was going up against Richard Webb in that particular playoff game. Richard Webb should be in the Hall of Fame, to be quite honest with you. And in my memory of Tony Brackens in practice, he was menacing. You know it when you do one-on-one drills.
Yeah.
Me and Basali struggled with him. I mean, he was that cat quick, strong, and physical. So I'll just tell you this. I didn't look forward to going against him in practice. Let me just say that. And he carried that over into the games. And Tony Brackens is definitely one of the all-time greats Jaguars history.
I call him a Barry Sanders defensive lineman. I mean, a guy that, he was big and he was strong, and when he got here his rookie year, Clyde Simmons took a hold of him, and Clyde was that long, lengthy, knew how to work you, and then you add in Tony Bracken's athletic ability. Mm-hmm. It's just a lethal weapon, man, for any offensive lineman.
Yeah. No, I just feel like Trayvon Walker's right there, man. He's like that long guy, that's athletic ability. He's ready. Do you think he's ready to be? I think he's ready to have a big season this year.
Well, he had a big one last year, for sure, and it's funny is my kid played for Charleston Southern, so his senior year we went up there, and so I got to see him for probably about 5 minutes because by that time the first unit was out. But just watching, I think he's going to be special, real special here.
Yeah, he could be, but got a long way to get to Brackens.
You're not there yet.
Yeah, he got a long way to get to Brackens because Brackens had that quick twitch, and he could flip those hips, and his double moves and spins, or when he came inside or got around you. Man, I'm telling you.
All right, Leon, explain that because you've gone up against either Hall of Famers, Pro Bowlers, and Tony Brackens could have been both of those. If he had stayed healthy, honestly, his size and strength, it just wasn't. You didn't have that too often.
Listen, if I had to rank a teammate as one of the top 5 guys I ever went up against, he would be in my top 5.
Yeah,
absolutely. He was ridiculous.
He was right behind Reggie White and maybe Derek Brooks. Brackens would be next. I mean, because he was big, fast, and physical.
Right. Well, I don't think I've seen a defensive lineman or an outside rusher stop on a dime and give you a nickel change like he did with that much weight. I mean, he would full speed and he could stop and change direction. That's kind of my, Barry Sanders defensive lineman.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And he was carrying how much?
Enjoy anything from the backside.
Yeah.
He can run it down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How much weight was he carrying? 270?
He was right around 265, 270.
270, yeah, absolutely.
See, I hate to say this, but I think Trayvon's going to get there. He's a very similar player. And you know me, I've been very critical of him his first year, but I think he's going to be a really unique player.
Right. He's athletic, strong,
and long, man.
And can move, at least interiorly, from a number of different positions. He can still rush the passer, which is pretty good. All right, Rich, before we are done, when you look at the Trevor Lawrence contract, you look at the Josh Allen contract, you look at everything else they've done, how fired up are you heading into 24?
I'm fired up. I mean, I'm always fired up at the beginning of the season. They did a lot of good work, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a GM, but at the end of the day, Doug Peterson's, he's going to command that respect. He's a player, successful, a system, it works. When you get guys, and here's the big deal is with our group, it was almost like family guys, really. I mean, we had a couple superstars, but it was just a bunch of guys that banded together. And the big thing was the confidence and the momentum. The confidence. If those guys can get confident with each other and, fly around, have fun, I see good things this year. I really do.
And you said
to love each other.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
it. Was a brotherhood. We loved on the O-line.
That's it.
We literally loved each other. We wanted each other to succeed.
And the other
That's
thing
overlooked a lot, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But the other thing you've said, Leon, is if Rich Tilsky needs to challenge you or Leon Searcy needs to challenge him, that happened in the locker room.
Yeah. I mean, we had conversations. If there was any. Listen, we used to have nonverbal conversations.
Yeah. Just a look.
Just a look.
Just look at the way he's looking at you.
Exactly. Like, it's time to turn it up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't have to say nothing. We just look at each other on the sidelines like,
all right.
That's it. That's it. All right, great stuff, man. You already killed it for the 4th of July with these racks of ribs today. Outstanding. What's in the dry rub? You had a little recipe you were chasing after.
Yeah. Well, I mean, quantities, obviously, we hold on to breath. But my main thing is, and a lot of people kind of get a little, weird out when I say it, but coffee. Coffee, red pepper, chili powder.
Right.
And then after, basically any pork rib is going to have a brown sugar base.
Sure.
It's just how you dry it out.
What does the coffee do? And do you have to get it off of there?
Well, the coffee's mixed in the rub, so it's fine ground, and it's just it's become real popular
with the steaks for sure.
There's guys putting it on brisket, pork. It just really enhances it. To me, it draws out if you're going to put any heat on it. It'll mesh and combine really good with a good flavor with your red pepper and all that on there.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, Rich, man, you're one of our guys, XL Primetime rib champion. The rib master.
We'll see.
All right, there he goes. Round of applause for our dude, right, Leon?
Oh, absolutely.
He brought.
He's the man. I show the O-line some love, man. Always.
He did not want to give up that rub.
You heard there's hesitation. He didn't want to give it up. No, he didn't.
It's interesting that he included coffee grounds because, like I said, you hear these espresso steaks or whatever, where they'll sear them with the coffee grounds and whatnot, and had not heard it as far as a rack of ribs or a butt goes. So that's interesting. By the way, Dr. Oz did chastise me for putting ribs in the oven.
As well he should.
Just telling you, man, in the interest of time, and I'm telling you, you let me cut up my ribs, serve them to you, you'll ask for them again. That's just what I know. That's what I know. But today is Tilsky's day.
It is.
Okay? XL Primetime Rib Master. Between him and Shannon, our two guys that cook it up, you cannot go wrong. Don't forget, Sonny's on the 4th. Make sure you just head on over there. You don't have to worry about cooking or anything. Casey, hit it right now.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
My takeaway today is when you step to XL Primetime, you better come correct. We don't play around here. All we do is win. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yeah, and we provide the protein time and time again. Okay? It is the truth. Takeaway?
I don't know why they even try, actually. I don't know why they even try. My takeaway is Doug Peterson is absolutely a top 5 NFL coach. And I don't think you got to look at the totality of what he's done in his career, and really the totality is what he's done here, considering what he walked into. Not unlike Mike Norvell at Florida State, very similar.
Really, really big year for him, that's for sure. My takeaway is I had no idea Frank Frangie could bake the way he baked in the July 4th cook-off.
Nice.
Because not only did he bring in one dessert, he brought in 3 desserts. And one of them was like a pineapple, kind of an upside-down deal. Another was a peach cobbler, and then something I can't quite. But I'm going to ask him if nutmeg.
There's no chance in hell he made any of those 3. You know that, right? Suzanne made all 3 of those.
Well, I'll just tell you this much. I looked and I saw the same tin and the nice little plastic covering.
Of course.
You know what that screams to me?
Suzanne!
Or bakery. or bakery. All right, but we had a great time. Appreciate everybody who did cook and the judges, and we had a good time as we get ready for the 4th of July. We are done thanks to Beaver Chevy and Beaver Toyota. You will not go wrong with either one of the dealerships, the great people that move from both locations back and forth to make sure they can serve all their customers. Great lineup of SUVs, pickups, economy sedans, beautiful sedans, whatever you want on the Chevy or Toyota side. Make sure you check out BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com or BeaverChevrolet.com. We is done today. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Sirs, Casey filling in for RJ. You got the Frangie Show coming up next.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
Riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
That's a fascinating little gadget. It's going to replace CDs soon, so I'll have to buy the White Album again.
What is this? It's a 1010XL.
The past is past, the future's now.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings.